Is one arm bigger than the other? I can't tell. And I hope not, because then I'd be caught up. All right. Just Chike coming at you with another YouTube video. Gonna put the hoodie on. Hoodies are gonna mean psychological videos, and tank tops are gonna mean workout videos. Nah, that's not what it means. It just means I'm kind of cold. Now you can't see the difference in my arms. Good. What's up, guys? Chike in Motion coming at you with another video with you today. I want to talk about motivation, discipline. Why it is you're not motivated? Why is it you may not be disciplined? Just to give you an aside, when it comes down to discipline, watch my video about discipline. To sum it up, discipline is based off of hope. If you don't have hope to achieve something, you cannot be disciplined enough to achieve it. Discipline is not some logical process in the brain. It is an emotion. It can be logically analyzed. It can be analyzed and predicted through certain hormones present in your brain, certain neural pathways in your brain. For example, if you have low testosterone and a low dopamine baseline, you're predicted to be very undisciplined. And we're gonna get into that in the video, but today I want to talk about dopamine, motivation, focus, and all that, and all these different things. What is focus? Focus is your ability to put all of your attention onto one single target over an extended period, over a certain period of time. It is the ability to, it's the quality of being able to put your attention on a single target. And then what is motivation? Motivation is essentially the quality that enables you to activate focus so that you can achieve a goal. It is what targets your focus. It is the cursor in the video game of a first-person shooter. It makes you target, right? And focus is basically you aiming down sights in an FPS game. For those of you who are playing Black Ops 6, get off that shit. Discipline is your ability to remain consistent on a certain goal despite the challenges and despite the adversity over a period of time. Okay, why am I talking about this? Because I am trying to avoid sounding like these hustle porn creators out on the internet, because what you don't know is that they may be playing a role in harming your discipline and your focus. Well, you have people like, David Goggins, or, Bruce, what's that guy? He's like this really buff white dude. I forgot his name, but he's like he's in the Marines or something. Anyway, these guys are gonna tell you something along the lines of, you need to eat shit every day. You need to be tough. It's gonna be hell. Life's gonna be hard. Everything is hard. Everything is pain. It's pain. It's gonna be tough. You gotta eat shit. You gotta eat nails. You gotta lick the rust off of a dirty side, off of a dirty rail, and fall down and then stub your toe and bleed to death. They're gonna say stuff like that. And you know what? They're right. They're right. It's true. That's exactly what's going to happen in the pursuit of your goals. It's going to be painful. And yes, you do have to push past the pain. The whole problem is that's not what you should be focused on. The act of making people, of telling people these things, is you make them aware of the reality of focusing on goals. But sometimes in life, you don't need to always be in reality. In some aspects, you need to be a little bit of delusional. And that's exactly what our predecessors were. Our ancestors were. They were delusional, because I'm going to give you an analogy or an example. Let's say there's a caveman, right? His name is Ukbuk. All right, you got Ukbuk over there. He live in a cave. There are saber-toothed tigers outside. There are anacondas outside. There are centipedes the size of literally fucking children outside, because the oxygen content in the prehistoric world was a lot more rich, and it allowed insects to grow a lot larger, almost the size of other mammals. Just a fun fact. But personally, if I saw a child-sized beetle outside, I'm sorry, I ain't going outside until we invent guns. It's just not gonna happen. But that's my point. Cavemen People in the past had to be delusional to survive, and their dopamine levels allow them to do so. Why? It's because when you starve for 3 days, you don't care what's in front of you. You're gonna go get some food. When you're horny and you've been on NoFap for I don't know how long, for those of you guys that, follow NoFap and stuff like that, or those of you guys who practice semen retention, you don't care who's around you. You don't care how nervous you are. You gonna talk to that girl. You gonna do what you gotta do. You become more aggressive. You become more directed. You tend to ignore the risks and take the reward. That's what you do. Now we're here. We're an advanced civilization. We're an advanced civilization because you had people who ignored the realities of the world. Why in the fuck would I go outside when there's a saber-toothed tiger? Why in the fuck would I go outside when there are insects the size of people? When there are horrible predators and diseases and land masses and sea masses and reptilians and birds that can pick you up and slice your throat. Why would I go outside? Because I need to get some food. Because I need to go and protect my wife and my children. This is the essence of masculinity and testosterone. This is the essence of it. It's motivation despite environment. It's being delusional. So when you're listening to these hustle porn creators that are telling you you're gonna have to eat shit and all these things, yes, that's right. You're now aware of it, but now you're actually playing against your dopaminergic system's purpose. It's to make you oblivious to the risks anyway. It's to make you oblivious to the costs anyway. People who procrastinate, you who procrastinates and focuses on focusing, and you can't do your work, and you haven't done your work, and you're not disciplined, and you don't hit the gym, and you don't do this, and you don't do that, you don't do the things that you know you need to do. If you pay close attention to yourself, if you pay close attention to exactly what it is that you're thinking in that moment, you're gonna realize that in that moment, you're thinking the cost right now to get this thing is way more than the gain. And you know it's not true because you're a logical person, you're rational. Human beings, we have the ability to metacognate and metathink. We have the ability to think about our thinking. But that doesn't always change the result of our actions, does it? Because discipline and all these things, like I said, are emotional, and our emotions are affected by hormones, which is why it's in your best interest to have high testosterone. But back to what I'm saying is, like, you understand that the cost of what it is that you need to do is not more than the gain, but you act as if it is anyway. Because when it comes down to your dopamine, your low dopamine levels, your low baseline, your mind and your body adjust to that mode of being anyway. Because what's happened is you have a low dopamine baseline because, and this is if you're not someone who has ADD, who's just clinically like that or born that way, unfortunately. It's because you are doing things in your environment to prove to your brain that that is the case. Because as far as it knows, you've been spiking your dopamine. You've been spiking your dopamine. Oh, he has women. Oh, he has women. You've been eating dirty food. Oh, he has an abundance of food, an abundance of calories. Look at all these calories. This entertainment, these video games, these pseudo relationships online. Oh, I have a social life. I have a pretty good life. Yeah, achieving or pursuing anything more isn't really worth it. Let me lower these dopaminergic systems so that he can remain comfortable and choose not to change his environment, because we need this environment because it's providing us everything we need. But thanks to God, thanks to forbidden knowledge or whatever you want to call it, we are more than aware that that is not the case. And we have the ability to think about our thinking, because we have superior consciousness is than animals. You know, you're a human being. You understand very well that you're not living up to your potential. And that's why depression manifests within you, because depression is simply a diagnostics indicator of the psyche to tell you that you're being a piece of shit right now. And yes, okay, I understand people do become clinically depressed, but if you were to listen to your depression, the voice of depression within you, and literally let yourself hit rock bottom, and maybe I'll have that in another video, you'll understand that there's actually truth to what it's saying. Your brain has been your ally since the dawn of man. It's not going to betray you all of a sudden after billions of years. Okay, so just to put that out there. But yes, you need to raise your dopamine levels and stop doing bad habits. It's not really rocket science. You know this by now. But with the whole hustle porn thing, the flaw in hustle porn, the flaw in watching shit like that is because it doesn't exactly simulate. Is simulate the right word? It doesn't exactly simulate the actual mental processes that are needed, or it doesn't facilitate the possibility of the mental processes needed to endure discipline, needed to produce discipline or motivation or focus or to develop those qualities. It doesn't facilitate the right mind frame, the mindset to produce those things, to facilitate those qualities that get you to where you need to go. If you meditate on the cost, you're literally simulating low dopamine levels. That's literally what you're doing. You're gonna have to eat shit. You gotta love the pain. No one actually loves pain. No one actually loves pain. I know I say, send your biceps to Helheim. I be saying that. I be saying you gotta send your biceps, send your chest to hell, go past failure. Recover, get the protein, go to failure, get the calories in. You gotta feel the burn. But if you actually look at the hidden meaning behind that, I'm saying that because that is the route to the best gain. I've become addicted to the gain. The gain that I get is simply the pump that I get and how good I feel after a workout. And that could also be the problem. Your definition, your whole perspective of the gain as opposed to the cost is completely, your gain metric is probably fucked up. It's probably messed up. Because when you have people who focus on the pump and the good feeling that they feel in the gym and the achievement that they feel when they see that they can lift big circles and heavy circles, because that's me, I'm a dumbass. I just like to lift big circles and heavy circles. That's the reward in and of itself, right? So to me, now the gain is higher than the cost because the gain is so easily accessible because I get the gain every single session in the gym. I lifted heavy circles. I've gotten stronger. Getting stronger is not that hard. It's really not. Focusing on the cost at a low dopamine level makes hard work seem harder than it actually is. You may want to do your homework. Your gain shouldn't be the work is done. I mean, it should be that the work gets done, but it's also how good you feel afterwards. You know. Focusing on changing your gain metric, on your value metrics, on success may also be the key to incorporating discipline. And sometimes you need to focus on the fact that I feel good being a disciplined person, and that's the reward enough for me. You know, but guys, I'm not gonna ramble on. I hope this video was valuable to you. Stop doing the bad habits that you know you shouldn't be doing. Get to work. Focus on yourself. Build your body, build the physique, do your homework, whatever it is you gotta do it, execute it, work with what you got, and I'll see you in the next one. If this video was helpful to you and you think that my arms are even, go ahead, like, subscribe, holla back at your boy, Chike.malcolm signing out.